It was supposed to be a simple night, a cozy, familiar gathering filled with shared laughter, stories over dinner, and the comfort of known faces. My partner, Sophie Carter, and I had been together for over a year, and we'd been invited to her friend Emma's house for a dinner party. The evening began warmly. The air outside was soft and still, and inside, candlelight flickered over the table like quiet fireflies. Emma was her usual vivacious self, effortlessly guiding the conversation, tossing out clever remarks that kept everyone engaged. Sophie sat beside me, calm and radiant in the glow of the room, her presence a steady comfort. For a while it felt like any other night, pleasant, easy, familiar. But as the hours passed, something in Sophie began to shift. At first it was subtle, just a fleeting glance that lingered too long, a faint furrow in her brow. Her expressions, once open and affectionate, now carried a mix of irritation and amusement that made my stomach twist. I couldn't quite place it, but I felt it, a change. And that feeling only deepened when, mid-conversation, I offered a light-hearted comment meant to bring a smile. Instead, Sophie looked toward Emma and said with a sharp, laughing edge, "You're always so serious. It'd be nice if you could relax for once." Her tone was breezy, almost playful, but her words struck hard. They clung to me like thorns, small but piercing. I tried to laugh it off, to let it pass unacknowledged, but the atmosphere shifted. Later, while we were having dessert, I attempted to brighten the mood by talking about our upcoming weekend plans, something I'd been looking forward to. Sophie didn't miss a beat. She smirked, eyes glinting with something unreadable. "I bet you'll find something to complain about before we even start," she said. Her voice was sweet, her tone teasing, but the coldness beneath it was undeniable. For a moment, the entire table went still. I forced a strained laugh, unsure how to react, unsure what had changed. Her comment didn't feel like a joke. It felt like a wound. Emma must have sensed the tension. She stood abruptly, voice a little too cheerful as she said, "Let's get some fresh air. I need a breather." Sophie rose with her, and I assumed they were just stepping out for a quick stroll to shake off the discomfort. But when the door clicked shut behind them, a weight settled in my chest. Something was wrong. I stayed seated, replaying the evening in my mind, combing through every word, every look, trying to pinpoint the moment it had all started unraveling. Through the glass, I could hear their voices murmuring, low and distant, too faint to understand. Then the door opened. Only Emma walked back in. Her face was unreadable, her movements too casual. She headed for the kitchen and poured herself a glass of water, her eyes deliberately avoiding mine. "Where's Sophie?" I asked, my voice tight, trying to stay calm as anxiety bubbled beneath my skin. Emma paused, her grip on the glass firm. Then quietly she said, "She's not coming back in." Her eyes remained on the counter. She said she needs to think things over. The words hit me like a punch to the chest. "What does that mean?" I asked, voice cracking. "Did something happen?" Emma took a breath. Her tone was careful. "She told me she's not feeling the same anymore. She's not happy. She says she needs space. She doesn't think this is working out." My world tilted. The floor beneath me felt uneven. I hadn't seen this coming. Not from Sophie. Not tonight. We had just been talking, smiling, sharing dessert. Everything had seemed normal, hadn't it? I scrambled outside, desperate for clarity, for Sophie. But the yard was empty. Her car was gone. She had left without a word. The night air pressing around me, thick with confusion and pain. I stood under the stars, hollowed out and aching, unable to move. The days that followed blurred together into a haze of unanswered questions and gnawing silence. I called her. I sent messages. Nothing. It was as if she had vanished, erasing herself from my life without leaving even a trail of closure behind. Emma reached out once or twice, but I couldn't bring myself to respond. I was lost in a spiral of trying to make sense of a night that had broken without warning. Weeks passed. That dinner haunted me. The sting of Sophie's words, the chill in her voice, the way Emma had gently distanced herself, as if retreating from something already decided. I thought about Sophie constantly. Her laugh, her touch, the way she used to reach for my hand under the table. How had all of that disappeared so suddenly? Had I just been blind? Or had she quietly made up her mind, waiting for the right moment to leave? Then, one quiet afternoon, a message from Sophie appeared on my phone. Short, distant. I'm sorry for how things ended. I didn't want to hurt you. I just don't know what I want right now. I stared at it, numb. I read it again and again, and slowly, something inside me shifted. Yes, her leaving hurt. But what lingered even more painfully was how she had done it. The public ridicule, the cold attachment, the silent exit. She hadn't just left. She'd made sure I felt the weight of it in front of everyone. She chose a moment, a stage, and stepped off, leaving me alone in the spotlight. I never saw her again. Her silence became a constant presence. Emma moved away eventually, and life went on. Time carried me forward, but part of me remained behind, anchored to that night, still questioning, still aching. And yet, I understood something now. When Sophie walked out of that house, she wasn't the only one who left. A version of me stayed there too, sitting under candlelight, still hoping the evening would turn back into something soft and safe. But that part of me never stood up again, because only one of us walked away from that moment, and it wasn't Sophie.